I was in my uncle's hot tub on Christmas Day, and I ended up asking him. I said, "Uncle Mike, could you just take a look at this for me?" And he's like, "Jeff, that's a hernia." And I was like, "Okay." You know, he's like, "You better get that checked out right away." I got it removed right before school started. It was an ingrown lymph node is what it was, but we weren't sure what it was until we biopsied it. The Dr. DeBelts knew it wasn't a hernia. He knew it was something else. So anyway, we biopsied it, and Dr. DeBelts calls me about a week and a half later, and he says, "Well, I have some news for you," and the lymph node that we biopsied had cancer. So he told me it's called Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay, so I have to get set up with a cancer doctor, and he says, "Well, would you like to do it here at Altru, or would you like to do it at Rochester?" And I was so happy with my services already at Altru, I had no reason to even think about going to Rochester. So I decided. I said, "Well, Dr. DeBelts, you're an excellent surgeon. I'm going to take your word. Who would you recommend?" So he said Dr. Walsh. He was one of his colleagues from University of Minnesota. I said, "Excellent." I said, "Set me up with Dr. Walsh." I got in with Dr. Walsh the next week. Dr. Walsh, he was very, very intelligent. He did his research. He knew exactly what we needed to do right away. He says you're going to have 8 cycles of chemo, and then you're going to have probably about 19, 20 rounds of radiation right after that. I guess that's another reason why I recommend Altru. They don't waste time. They get it handled right away, and that's the type of person I am. It's not, they don't just remember you when you're a patient. They remember you outside of that also. And some of the relationships I built with the nurses and the doctors was, of course, Dr. Walsh. You know, I mean, I even saw him, probably after the first couple rounds of my chemo treatments, I saw him at the Shangri-La restaurant eating out with his family. And he came over to my table, and I introduced him to my uncle I was eating with. And I mean, that's the type of doctors that I really like, the personable doctors that, you know, if you see him out in public, you know, "Hi, Dr. Walsh, how are you?" Or "Hi, Jeff, how are you?" You know, that's the things that Altru, I feel, provided to me. Excellent. Excellent. I could not complain one bit about Altru. They took care of me. They cured cancer. You know, I mean, who else could complain about that?